Hello everyone, I'm Heather Dawson. Welcome to California Life, where we bring you the best of California every week on our show. Let's start off with the beautiful city of Big Bear Lake that is luring people from all over the state to its summer activities. Here's Suzanne Pajot.
Big Bear has some big plans to help kids get outdoors and win prizes this summer. I'm Suzanne Pajot, and I'll have more coming up. June is National Great Outdoors Month, and to celebrate, the folks at BigBear.com are launching a summer-long promotion, a game to encourage children to get some exercise. It's called Kids Get Outdoors, Win.
We noticed that this national trend, actually a national epidemic of childhood obesity, saying, wow, we need to find a way to get kids outdoors, and what better place to get kids outdoors than Big Bear Lake?
Here's how the game works. First, you stop by the Big Bear Discovery Center or one of 9 other fun spots to get an entry form. Here you get your first stamp by getting up close and personal with a different kind of stuffed animal, like this huge bear, this owl, or the bald eagle. So every time you go on one of the attractions like this ski chair at Snow Summit, they give you a passport like this. They stamp it, and once you have 2 stamps, you start earning prizes.
And we have some great prizes, including a brand new mountain bike, brand new snowboard, and an all-inclusive trip to Big Bear Lake.
After the first stamp, you get 20% off on all other activities, including kayaking, mountain biking, and paddleboarding. Chloe Rahal really enjoyed hiking and even drove a sled with wheels down the luge track at the Alpine Slide.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for kids to exercise and get rewards for it.
The promotion lasts through September 17th. Bringing you the best of California from Big Bear Lake, I'm Suzanne Pajot for California Life.
For the 6th year in a row, the Napa Valley is celebrating the art of life. Today we're giving you a sneak peek of the 6th annual Festival del Sole, and I'm with founder and director Rick Walker. It's such a neat combination of art and music and wine.
The settings here in Napa are gorgeous. Our venues, we use venues around the valley. For the performances, we use Lincoln Theater here in Yountville. We have a food and wine event here at Bardessono, where we're sitting right now. We have several concerts at Castello de Amorosa. We use the amphitheater at Dariush Winery, and of course Robert Mondavi Winery, Napa Valley Opera House. So we're all over the valley for these performances.
You absolutely are all over the valley for the performances, and you're all over the valley for the wine too, because check out this smorgasbord that we have here. Holy smokes, we have just about the best of the best that the Napa Valley has to offer. Talk to us about some of the wineries that are participating in the event.
Well, we're fortunate that Napa's vintner community has embraced this festival from the very beginning, and the top wineries are involved. I think at last count we have about 70 of Napa's great wineries involved with this festival.
My goodness, this interview would take 45 minutes if we told you every single one of them, but we do have a really nice sampling here.
What we have here is Swanson Vineyards 2006 Merlot, one of the great Merlots of Napa Valley. The reason that we're starting off with this is they are starting off the festival with the founders dinner.
Wow, so move over, Merlot haters. Also, Farniente's representing too, which they're very well known for their Chardonnay and of course their sister company Dolce.
Farniente is one of the founding wineries of the festival. Every year they've hosted a spectacular dinner after one of the performances. This year they're doing it after the Shakespeare performance.
Farniente always puts on a great show over there and puts on some amazing wines. Of course, we couldn't sample all 70 of the wines here today, but they're all equally wonderful. We could, but I don't know if we'd be able to continue the interview if we tasted them all. But what I think is so neat about this is that people at home actually can come and get a taste of the best of the Napa Valley, because this is open to the public, right?
Yes, there's events for everyone, for all types. We have free concerts, 6 free concerts, including several that are sponsored by Bouchain Vineyards, which puts on a young artist series every year, a very wonderful series that gives emerging artists a chance to shine. And we have 4 concerts in the Bouchain Young Artists series this year. Plus we have 2 free concerts that have been dedicated to veterans of World War II, including one here in Yountville at the Veterans Home, another one Napa Valley Opera House that features the U.S. Army Brass Quintet together with the Russian National Orchestra Brass Quintet. It's cultural détente. People come, they see something that they may not have seen before. It's a discovery, and they love what they see, and they come back.
Well, let's raise our glass. What are you going to pick? Oh, no, we can't pick favorites. I'll just take the white because it's closest. Cheers. Here's to celebrating the art of life.
The art of life.
If you love to bike, run, or both, you're going to love this next story. We head down to San Diego and check in with Audra Stafford, who shows us a latest invention called the Elliptigo.
I'm here at the Solana Beach headquarters for Elliptigo, which now has 13 employees and ships to dozens of locations around the world. But just 6 years ago, it was a very different story. Back then, it was just two friends with an idea.
The Elliptigo is the world's first elliptical bicycle, and what it does is it emulates the experience of running outdoors without the impact.
A cool concept, but one that came out of necessity for Elliptigo co-founder Brian Pate.
In my early 30s, I lost the ability to run for exercise.
So he decided to try something new.
I ended up going to the gym and using an elliptical trainer. I liked the elliptical trainer motion and the fact that I could get a workout in efficiently, but I hated the gym experience.
Convinced there must be something else out there for an injured runner like himself, Brian started searching.
I thought of this concept of a low-impact running device and totally assumed that it existed. It didn't strike me at all as particularly innovative, and it just did not exist. So then I thought, well, who do I know that could make one of these things happen? And that's when I picked up the phone and called our co-founder, Brent Teal.
Brent, a mechanical engineer and avid runner himself, saw potential in the idea and immediately got to work.
I designed it all on the computer in 3D before I cut a piece of metal or do anything. And then I got a torch, built some fixtures, and put my first proof of concept together. It was really pieced together out of parts of other bikes that we had, really on a shoestring budget, and to get something together as quickly as possible to just see if this idea had legs, so to speak.
It did, and over the next few years, Brent designed and built 4 more prototypes, each one a little better than the last.
I'd make a change to the design. I'd go out at night and be riding around, and my neighbors thought I was crazy. They're like, oh, there he goes again on some crazy contraption.
My wife was very against it. She thought it was a total waste of money. I think everyone recognizes how unlikely it is to be successful at creating a new thing. And so I think everyone had some trepidation about whether or not we were totally wasting time and money. And my wife has since come around.
As have the people in Brent's neighborhood.
I'll go out riding on my Elliptigo, and I'll see someone I don't know on an Elliptigo, and they're like, how do you like your bike? And you know, it's just really cool to go from that extreme to the other.
The Elliptigo has also become a popular cross-training tool for elite athletes like ultramarathoner Dean Karnassus.
I love to cross-train. But you know, here's even a more natural motion that I could use to complement my running.
But the Elliptigo isn't just for hardcore athletes.
We're on it 6 days a week.
Soon to be 60-year-olds Sally and Doug Leland each got Elliptigos after taking them for a test ride.
There is no jarring, there is no soreness. You get to stand up and you get just the best cardio workout going.
And the Elliptigos are very low maintenance, as Doug found out when he rode his from Canada to Mexico.
In the 1,800 miles that I rode this thing down the coast, I never had to do a thing to it. No flat tires.
I had a flat tire on the car. He never had a flat tire on the Elliptigo.
The cabling, the tires, the tubes, the spokes, the rims, the hub, all of that has been developed and refined in the bike industry literally for 100 years. And we've just taken it and put it onto a different frame mechanism.
So if they run into problems and we can't support them remotely, then typically the bike shop can get involved and help them out.
And with a simple adapter, you can even use the Elliptigo indoors.
And really make it into a year-round tool, especially for those people who don't live in California.
These bikes are great for injured runners. They're great for people who aren't comfortable on bikes. They're great for people who aren't cross-trained, but fundamentally what crosses all that, it's just a really fun experience.
And the Elliptigo is so easy to use. Even a beginner like me can do it. Bringing you the best of California from Solana Beach, I'm Audra Stafford for California Live.
And now let's check in with Jonathan Camus, who caught up with surf legend Kelly Slater, who now has the key to Huntington Beach.
Surf City honored one of the best to ever ride a wave. Main Street in Huntington Beach shut down as Kelly Slater was handed the key to the city.
You will always be our hero. The city's door will always be open to you, and you will always be loved, cherished, and welcomed in Huntington Beach. Kelly, congratulations.
It's pretty cool to be standing here today, and I wasn't on the football team or anything. I wasn't getting letters on my jackets, but you know, I got the key to the city in Huntington. That's pretty cool.
And even though Slater, a 10-time world surfing champion, was born on the East Coast, he considers Huntington Beach his home away from home.
Huntington Beach is probably the biggest surf town in the world. I mean, in terms of crowds that come down to the beach, in terms of how many surf shops there are per square foot, and you know, the number of surfers in the water. So, you know, it's been a really prominent place in surfing.
Bringing you the best of California from Huntington Beach, I'm Jonathan Camus for California Life.
Meet Guy. His days are pretty much the same day after day until this.
Everybody down on the ground. Everybody except you.
Yep. This is when Guy discovers he's not who he thinks he is. Rather, he's a background character in a popular video game. This causes Guy to think something his character isn't supposed to do. And his world turns upside down, and so does everyone else's.
This loser is ruining the game, man. I don't care if he's Arnold frickin' Schwarzenegger. Terminate him.
Ryan Reynolds stars as the guy who really shakes things up in the video world. The so-called real world thinks he's a player who's hacked the system, but that's not the case. Guy starts to fight back and does his best to bring the rest of the background characters with him. At the very socially distanced premiere, Reynolds spoke about what attracted him to the project.
I remember when I saw Back to the Future as a kid. It was like one of those movies that just like immersed you in a world and blew your mind. And that's what this film does. It really takes you somewhere else, and it leaves you walking out of the theater with a huge grin on your face. And I just kind of miss that feeling, you know. It doesn't happen as often as I think we'd like, and particularly over the last, 16, 17 months, it's been pretty crazy. So I'm really excited for audiences to get a chance to go and enjoy this.
This feel-good film has lots of humor in it for the kids and for the adults as well. There's good chemistry between Guy and his fellow freedom fighter Millie, played by Jodie Comer. Look for lots of homages to other action and video game themed films. But it's the heart of Guy, played by Reynolds, that really makes you want to immerse yourself in his world.
Good morning. I'm Jason Rasidlo, reporting for AmericaJR.com, and I'm being joined by Lego artist Nathan Sawaya. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Very good. Welcome. So first, I was wondering, at what age did you first start playing with Legos?
I got my first Lego set when I was 5 years old, Christmas morning, from my grandparents, tore into it, immediately started building.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. So what was your inspiration for this new Art of the Brick exhibit?
Well, so as I said, I had Lego bricks as a kid, but as I grew up, I experimented with other artistic forms and eventually came back to Lego years later. And it was over 10 years ago, I started an exhibition that really consisted of 24 sculptures. So it was nothing, 24 sculptures. And that's just grown and grown. And now the Art of the Brick is over 120 works of art. And there's actually multiple exhibitions on tour around the globe. Oh, wow. So very excited to be introducing this to Los Angeles, where it's an exhibition that has a lot of new pieces, and hopefully a lot of people will enjoy it.
All right. Now it looks like you're in your studio there where you do your work.
Yep, this is my art studio. I have about 10 million Lego bricks in my art studio at any given time. Wow. I like to keep a huge inventory so that while I'm working on something, I can just grab what I need and not have to think about buying bricks. If I'm working on and I need a lot of red bricks. I don't want to think, do I have enough? I just grab the red bricks. So I keep a big inventory.
All right. So are you in Los Angeles also?
Yeah, I'm based in LA. That's where my art studio is.
Okay, great. So how does it feel to have your exhibit in your hometown, basically?
It's exciting because I've never done a major art exhibition like this in Los Angeles, and it's great to have friends and family who are in town go and see the exhibition. Some, for the first time, they're getting to see my art, on display in this type of format. So it's really great.
That's very cool. So as you stated, there's 100 sculptures or more. Can you talk to me about some of the highlights?
Well, it's a broad spectrum of works throughout my entire career. So some of the works are going to focus on very representational, like one of the opening galleries actually is a representational works of famous art pieces. So famous works from art history that I've tried to replicate, but out of Lego. So the Mona Lisa, the Venus de Milo, all out of Lego bricks, which I think is a great way to talk to younger kids about art because, they're familiar with Lego as a toy, and this is a way to introduce them into famous works of art from all of history. The other parts of the exhibition include galleries that have more original works, kind of like this guy behind me, more focused on human forms, a lot of different human forms and messaging and emotions put into those pieces. And then there's some whimsical pieces. And then there's a new section called Pernicium, which is large animals, mostly endangered species that we have taken and photographed in their environment. So you see these large photos of, for example, a polar bear, and it's in the Arctic.
And I understand the largest one is a sculpture of the T-Rex.
Yes, there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton that I did. I did that right after the first time I ever showed my work solo, and I kind of thought, well, what, I saw this, I did this solo show. I saw kids coming to the show, and I thought, what do kids really love? Well, they love dinosaurs. So I spent 3 months working on a dinosaur skeleton. It's a T-Rex skeleton. It measures over 18 feet long. And yeah, it's one of the larger pieces that I've ever done.
So what are you working on right now, currently?
Well, I'm always taking on new projects. I'm working on a commission right now that the client is, well, I can't really talk about it actually, but it's, I always have fun with commissions because people contact me every day and say, hey, can you make me this? Can you make me that? It's a fun part of my job to see these different projects. Unfortunately, I can't take on every project.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing actually that I get to pick and choose different projects. So that's been something that has always been great. And I'm just working on a new project for a client.
Oh, that sounds like fun. So what do you want folks to know when they check out your exhibit in LA?
Well, I think the art of the brick is, it's something for the whole family. There's so much to see. As I said, there's many different galleries with many different types of works. And I really do hope that when people see it, they get inspired to, create a little more in their life. I'm not saying they need to spend 3 months building a dinosaur, but, a little more doodling, maybe some finger painting. Anytime you're doing a little more creative works, I think it just puts you in a better mood.
All right, very good. Do you know how long it's going to be on display there?
Yeah, the Art of the Brick is at the California Science Center through the end of the year, through the end of 2021. Yeah.
And after then, do you know where it's headed?
I do, but I can't say yet. We're going to wait to announce that till after we're done in LA.
All right, perfect. So any other final comments before we wrap up?
Well, you can always check brickartist.com for the latest schedule of where things are going. And if you do want a little preview of what I'm working on, sometimes I post little previews on my Instagram, which is just @NathanSawaya.
All right, we'll make sure to check that out. Thanks so much, and it was very good. A lot of great information.
Thanks, Jason.
And that'll do it for this week's episode of California Life. If you missed any part of our show, go to our website, californialifehd.com. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time.
Watch us on our YouTube channel. Stay connected to our social media, like our blogs on Facebook. Follow our tweets on Twitter. And check out our posts on Instagram and Pinterest, where we bring you the best.